that have empowered me to live an abundant and sustainable life. Productivity tips, Christian wealth building, awareness, building a sustainable budget.
Here we go.
Money, money, making crap for money, money, and money, money, making crap for money.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chel Wilson. I'm a certified financial education instructor, financial literacy author, and today I would love to emphasize that I'm a junior board member of the Savvy Ladies organization who's sponsoring today's video. It's been a while since I posted. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you to all of my fam from over 7 years ago that stayed up with this channel. And thank you to all the new viewers, new money makers, new wealth builders who are here as I relaunch this channel with a fresh focus on financial wellness. And as we're kicking things off, how better to start than focusing on self-care? Today we'll kick things off with a great conversation about self-care for this self-care September. Something that I had to understand early on in my financial journey and just journey as a young professional is that self-care is not always the external facing things. Self-care is not always the spa days and the bubble baths, although I do love me a good bubble bath on my weekly routines, okay? But I will say self-care includes the things that bring sustainability into your life, the things that de-stress your life internally from the inside out. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is set yourself up for success long term. Sometimes the best self-care thing you can do is looking out for your future self. It can just be that simple. The things we'll talk about today are timeless, so make sure you have your notes because note takers are money makers. To give a quick, simple twist to some core things that will improve our money mindset over the next few months. The first simple self-care switch is to practice gratitude over guilt. So the first simple practice I'll highlight today is actually a mindset shift. It's a paradigm shift. And it's actually to start with gratitude before you start with guilt. I encourage you to pause, reflect. Reflect on what, Raquel? I'm glad you asked. We're going to name and reflect on 3 things that money has allowed you to do or to have in that week. All right? Name and notice, name and reflect 3 things. What are 3 ways that money has empowered you or allowed you to walk through a door in a different way, a different perspective, or serve someone in a different way or different perspective? And meditate on those 3 things and meditate on the gratitude that should be coming, that should emanate from experiencing those things or using money as a tool for those positive things. It could be as practical as paying your light bill, could be as joyful as grabbing lunch or brunch with a friend. Ultimately, it's really about changing your mindset to have a quick practice that can reset your mind from grief or stress or guilt to gratitude and abundance and knowing that money is a tool for you, not something that you have to transgress over or stress about. What I love about this practice is that it's a simple way to shift your mind from scarcity into abundance. And when having an abundant mindset, it really does allow you to stop that doom spiral, stop spiraling in regret, and actually make positive financial choices that benefit your long-term self, your future self, right? So I love this practice of shifting from guilt as a starting point to instead shifting to gratitude as a starting point when we're engaging with new monetary decisions or when we're just reflecting on the week. That is simple self-care. The second simple self-care switch is to have a weekly money check-in or money date. And speaking of check-ins, the simple switch number 2 for positive self-care is to set up a date. Yes, I know it's about to be cuffing season. Set up a date for yourself, you and your bank accounts. Yes, instead of avoiding that bank account, I encourage you to set at least 5 minutes aside every week to have a money date or a money check-in. So I know some of us avoid dating like the plague, but you have to date yourself, all right? And specifically in relation to your money, I need you to set up some dates with yourself, okay? And the reason that this is so simple is because we put 5 minutes towards so many things. We put 5 or more minutes towards scrolling. We put 5 or more minutes towards having phone conversations with friends. Why can't we just set aside 5 intentional minutes with ourselves, with our financial statements, to set ourselves up for success? I think that's self-care. My money mindset coaching clients, when she initially came to me, was terrified of addressing her financial statement. She did not look at them. She knew they existed, but it was out of sight, out of mind intentionally. And every time she thought about logging into her financial statements, she would either internally freeze due to financial trauma, or she would externally have issues logging in digitally. Crazy technology, right? But ultimately, together, we were able to build up this financial resilience to be able to not only go through and process her financial statements and how we can build a plan together, but also setting up a practice of weekly and monthly money dates. And of course, at first, this is going to be uncomfortable, but eventually it will become like riding a bike. If you prioritize this 5, 10, 15-minute date with yourself weekly and or monthly, before you know it, you'll start to see the benefits. It's like a mini financial workout for you. It raises your awareness and it raises your self-care levels, because when you're aware of where your money goes, you can control where your money flows. Okay, so let's raise our awareness with these money check-ins. The heart of this switch is to not run away from your money, but walk alongside it. To not be dragged by a leash by your money, but to be able to direct where your money is going and how it is a tool for impacting yourself and others the way that you desire. And that's the heart of this switch. That self-care is about removing the fear of the unknown and instead replacing it with confidence and awareness and really that internal peace that comes from self-care. And personally, that's why I love organizations like Savvy Ladies, organizations that walk alongside women, specifically in their financial journey, to provide free support, free tools, and resources so they can grow in their self-care, September and beyond. The third simple self-care switch is to practice the 24-hour pause. So number three. So for my feisty ladies who might sometimes need to count to 3 or 10 before they say something they might regret, this 24-hour pause rule is pretty similar. Before you make a purchase you might regret, give it 24 hours. If it's an online item, give it 24 hours before you come back to the website and make that purchase. Maybe let it sit in your cart for 24 hours. This will allow you time to really evaluate, am I making an emotional purchase? Am I stressed right now? Right? And really reflect on if that purchase aligns with your values or not. And if it does, great. Who knows? The company might actually send you a coupon because the item has been sitting in your cart for 24 hours. It's a win-win ultimately. Simple switches for financial self-care. If you still want the item after 24 hours and it fits your budget and your values, okay, then go for it. What I love about this rule is most of the time, the financial urge is going to fade and you might not even need the item. You might find a better way to fulfill your need that you were considering getting the item for. You might have found a better way to fulfill the function you thought you needed the item for. And this rule doesn't have to be about restriction. It's about drawing a simple line between emotional spending and intentional spending. The 24-hour pause is not about restrictions or scarcity. It's about drawing a simple line between emotional spending and intentional spending. That's financial self-care. Shout out to my Buckeyes. Are y'all rooting for any football teams this fall?
Money, making crap for money.